Good afternoon and welcome to McDonald Jones Stadium in Newcastle for round 3 of the Westfield W League as the Newcastle Jets search for their first win of the season against Canberra United. And it might be only round 3, but in a competition where sides play just 12 matches, slow starts can all but end finals ambitions. The Jets showed plenty of promise in their opening round draw against Melbourne City. However, a disappointing defeat against Western Sydney last Friday leaves them in a tight spot, and they can't afford to be winless in their opening 3 matches. While for Canberra, they'll look to recover after their perfect start in the opening round against Perth was followed by a heartbreaking last-minute defeat against City. A fast start to the season is what coach Heather Garriock wants, and to fulfil that plan, 3 points is also a must this afternoon in the Hunter. Let's have a look at the lineups. And first up, it's the home side, the Newcastle Jets, who were absolutely dominated last week in their 1-0 defeat to Western Sydney Wanderers. But despite that, Craig Deans has kept faith in the same starting 11. There is a change of formation, though, with the front 2 from last week becoming just a lone striker in the form of Tara Andrews. Jenna Kingsley drops from the front line to the number 10 in behind Tara Andrews. And Hannah Brewer will play her 100th match in the W League this afternoon and gets the armband as well. Nicola Orgel, the captain for Canberra, she will be playing in the back line for them this afternoon. Of course, they suffered that heartbreaking 2-1 defeat to Melbourne City in the final minute where Emily Van Egmond scored that penalty goal. Jessie Raschart gave away that match-winning penalty and is replaced at right back by Rebecca Horsey, who makes her starting debut. Former Jet Katie Stengel is out with an ankle injury, and 18-year-old Laura Hughes is also out of the squad altogether. That means Norwegian Elise Thorsnes will start after arriving during the week, along with youngster Ashley Crofts, who scored 16 goals in the NPL New South Wales with Blacktown. There is Canberra United. And there is the youngster, 21-year-old Ashley Crofts, who'll be leading the line for United this afternoon. Up against one of the most experienced strikers in the W League, in Tara Andrews, in that position for the Newcastle Jets. And there you can see referee Isabella Libri from Sydney. She's been reffing in the NPLW New South Wales, officiates her first Westfield W League match. She has been 4th official in the first 2 rounds this season, now gets her chance as centre referee. Assistants Eleanor Hayes and Emma Cockbeck, and 4th official is Rebecca Mackey. So Lena Karmas in the centre circle to get us underway. Kickoff has been delayed by 20 minutes because of the storm which rolled through about 40 minutes ago. But the referee on debut gets us underway here in Newcastle in round 3 of the Westfield W League, and Claire Coelho has an early touch in goals for the Jets. And the question is, can Canberra end their recent poor run of form away from home? They've won just 1 of their last 14. That sole victory actually came against the Jets a couple of seasons back at number 2 Sports Ground. That was in Heather Garriock's first year in charge. Simone Charlie gets up for the header and finds Karmas. Canberra devastated by that final minute defeat, because if they had have held on, they would have taken 4 points from the opening 2 matches and been sitting pretty. Win this afternoon, though, and they're going to be level at the top of the table. That is pending other results, though. But a fast start is what you need in the W League. As I mentioned earlier, here's Tegan Collister in a duel with Carly Rossbacken, and she's given away the free kick, the Matilda. Debuted, of course, at the World Cup. Came through the Canberra United Academy. And she's given the Jets an early opportunity here inside a couple of minutes. So it's going to be Gemma Simon trotting down to take it. 118th appearance in the Westfield W League for the usual Newcastle Jets skipper. Hannah Brewer taking the armband this afternoon. Here's the ball across, trying to find Nikki Flannery. Simon is going to shoot. And Kaylee Kurtz got her boot to it to knock it over the line, the American. A change in the back line with Raschart at right fullback last week against Melbourne City, dropping out of the side. And replaced by Rebecca Horsey, who was very impressive for Lions in the NPLW in Queensland. Couple of goals in 24 matches and won the double with the Queensland side, who really dominated that competition this year. Here's Libby Copus-Brown. Thought there was a handball. Has been spotted by Isabella Libri. Defensively, Canberra were so impressive last year, but it was at the back end of the season where the goals just dried up. This woman on screen was pretty impressive for them. Sham Karmas playing alongside her sister, as they have done in the NPLW in New South Wales with MacArthur. Here's Camilla. Almost scored last week for Canberra. Did set up the opening goal for them. And now Charlie across the face. It took a little deflection, but into the arms of the Jets goalkeeper, Claire Quaylo. Former Jet Nicola Orgel, now the captain at Canberra. 26 years of age. Played for the Jets during the 17-18 campaign where they made the finals. Her last goal came at this ground in that season against Sydney FC, November 2017. A couple of years ago now. Attempt to turn from the Norwegian Thorsnes. It falls into the path of Tara Andrews, who is going to win a free kick. The tall Newcastle Jets striker. So what can they conjure up from this set-piece situation, Newcastle? 1 point from their opening 2 matches, that draw with Melbourne City. In the opening round, they were so impressive. Probably unlucky not to take all 3 points in the second half. So they sit 6th on the table on 1 point. Canberra in 4th on 3 points. A win for the Jets takes them above Canberra into the 4. Can they start strongly? Copus-Brown's free kick into the head of Lena Karmas. And here's an opportunity for Canberra. Down the right edge with Horsey. And now Camilla in a tangle with Tess Tamplin. Orgel. Now Kurtz played with North Carolina Courage during the most recent NWSL season. Didn't play in the grand final. She was on the bench for that final against the Chicago Red Stars. Simone Charlie played in America with Portland. Rolls it through. Lovely ball to Crofts, who almost got goal side of the milestone lady, Hannah Brewer, who is a little ginger. May have caught one in the back here. Well, maybe just rolled her ankle as she crossed the byline there. Let's hope she is okay, because that would be a horrible way to spend your 100th match, leaving the ground with injury. She's a little ginger. She has got that tape around the left thigh. Cass Davis. Chipping forward, looking for the run of Tegan Collister. Karmas will grab it. Very experienced goalkeeper, her 8th season in the Westfield W League this year. Turning into trouble there was Horsey. She's able to win the ball back from Tara Andrews, but put it over the line, so Newcastle with a chance to build some more pressure. They've had more of the territory thus far. Was there a handball from Flannery? There was. Looking at the head-to-heads between these two. 17 times they've met in the W League. Newcastle with 3 wins, Canberra 12 and 2 draws. Here in Newcastle, they've played 11. The Jets with a couple of wins, Canberra 7 and 2 draws as well in there. So it's turned over again by Canberra, this time by Kaylee Kurtz. Well done by Olivia Price. Just slide it wide to Ross Backen. Now Camilla. Collister got a boot in, but will be a throw for the visitors. The Jets have won the last 2 against Canberra, unbeaten in their last 4. So it was such a dominant record that United had against the Jets before the last few meetings. Here's Claire Wheeler. Dropped forward towards the run of Jenna Kingsley. The throw for the Jets and Tessa Tamplin. That's unbeaten in the last 4 at home. The Jets against Canberra. So Tamplin with the throw towards Tara Andrews on the turn. Well done by Price to roll the ball forward. Tamplin away from Camilla, but the touch was heavy. And now Lena Karmas running into 2 and 3 Jets who came across and swarmed her. Now Cass Davis. Will the ball sit for Tegan Collister? It won't, but it will only be a throw for Canberra. Kurtz wide to Orgel. Nikki Orgel up the line to Simone Charlie. And now the Brazilian herring after the ball. Thorsness played a couple of games the Norwegian at the World Cup for Norway. Off the bench. Now Ross Backen. Karmas. And now Charlie, can she get in front of Gemma Simon? Well, she could, and her shot has struck the post and just gone wide. Well, the American was that close to opening the scoring for Canberra. Such a good player and such a good athlete as well. About 5 years ago, she was 1 centimetre away from achieving a World Championship qualification distance for the triple jump. 1 centimetre. That's how close Simone Charlie was. And here she is again, speeding after the ball, cutting it across goal. Claire Coelho there to smother it. And now Libby Copus-Brown. Up to Tara Andrews. Tamplin. Hollister's touched a little too heavy. She was injured in that defeat to the Wanderers last week. Collected heavily late on in that one, but she's all good to go. That was by Wanderers keeper Abby Smith, who was coming out to clear the ball. Now Lena Karmas charging forward again. Scored plenty of goals in the NPLW in New South Wales, 12 to be precise for MacArthur. Karmas. And now Tamplin intervenes for Newcastle. And Collister again. Touch too heavy. She's the Jets' only goal scorer this year. That goal coming in the second half in round 1 against Melbourne City. Orgel wide to Simone Charlie. Speeding forward and the pass goes astray. Burst onto the W League scene did Simone Charlie with a couple of goals in round 1 against Perth, inside the opening quarter hour as well. What a way to introduce herself to the home fans down there at McKellar Park. They'll get another opportunity at home on Thursday against Brisbane Roar. But right now the focus is here on winning this one against the Jets. Cass Davis back to Coelho. Gets a good piece of that. Ross backtracking. Collister, that's a decent turn, but again the pass. She brought it under her control beautifully, but then the execution of the pass went awry. Thorsness, a familiar face for Canberra fans. Played for them during the 17-18 season. 6 goals in 9 matches for them. absolutely outstanding. She'll be wanting to continue that record. Copus Brown. Now Camilla, the Brazilian who was part of the squad that went to the World Cup, didn't play. And now Olivia Price striding forward. Just swerved away from Copus Brown quite easily in the end. Here is the Norwegian Thorsnes just dinking it towards the back post. Charlie is wide and it's a tough angle, but she cuts it across goal. And now Orkle coming across. Got a little clip from Flannery, and now Price falls back for the defender and Captain Orgel. The clearance wasn't a great one from Brewer. Now she dives in. Very much pinball on the edge of the box, and Nikki Flannery, the former Canberra United midfielder, has done enough to earn her side a throw with the pressure that she's put on her former teammates. 4 seasons with Canberra for Nikki Flannery. Here's the free kick going away of the home side. Nine of the 15 members of the Jet squad who will, were named on the team sheet this afternoon, played down in Sydney during the winter months. 6 playing up here in northern New South Wales. Cass Davis, one of those who was playing here at home. Claire Wheeler, Tegan Colliston, Nikki Flannery, all at Sydney Uni, who won the premiership and the grand final. As Tess Tamplin almost a cross shot there, but it just faded inside the near post. And then Nikki Simonson, the backup goalkeeper with Manly. Tana Petrantos on the bench with Sydney Olympic, and then Hannah Brewer was with the North Shore Mariners, and then 3 with the Jet side in that comp. Claire Quaylo, Tessa Tamplin, and Paige Kingston Hogg. And Ashley Crofts, who's in the Canberra United side this afternoon, making her very first start. Her 3rd appearance, first start, 16 goals in that comp as the Jets earn a free kick. But there is quite a step up. Can she make that leap from scoring in the NPLW in New South Wales to the W League? We'll find out this afternoon. Sham Karmas with the throw. Camilla with the attempted back heel, wasn't looking, and now Jenna Kingsley towing it up and over the top for Tegan Collister. Charlie coming across. Now Simon back to Wheeler. Cass Davis, and it was Ross Backen who just thwarted Jenna Kingsley. Now Copus Brown, but the free kick has gone the way of Canberra. In terms of the injury problems for both of these two sides, Canberra without Katie Stengel this afternoon with an ankle issue picked up in the loss last week to Melbourne City. Here's Simone Charlie bursting forward. Now Camilla to Thorsnes. Can she get on that right boot? She can. Dink it towards the back post. Lena Karmas was rising. Former Matilda trying to barge her way through and up for the header. Couldn't win the ball, and now the Jets with a chance to break forward via Tegan Collister. It's going to fall to the Canberra keeper. Speaking of injuries, as I said, Katie Stengel out for Canberra, and the Jets with 3 at the moment. Annabelle Martin, their new recruit. Well, hang on a sec. Here could be another injury, and it's self-inflicted because Tegan Collister has been bumped into by Jenna Kingsley. And down the other end of the ground, Canberra are looking to find the opener through Thorsnes, who gave it away to Tamplin. Now Kingsley against the sideline. She was offside though. So the Jets with Annabelle Martin out with a knee injury. She's got a couple of weeks left on the sideline. Sophie Nenadovich with a few weeks left, and Renee Pountney as well. So Craig Deans has had the same 15 for the first 3 rounds. Now Charlie easily around the outside of Gemma Simon. Such is the pace of the American. Cuts it across. Ashley Crofts trying to back heel, flick it towards goal. They look classy. Now Claire Coelho launches long onto the head of Horsey. Collister to Flannery. Horsey came across, put the pressure on the former Canberra United player. Wheeler and now Brewer in game number 100, which is an outstanding performance considering this is the 12th year of the W League. Thorsness. Canberra looking to take their free kick quickly. Kaylee Kurtz to Rossbacken, who's taken off down the left, driving forward. Barreled over Tamplin, illegally so, according to Isabella Libri. Coelho looking for the head of Flannery and found it, and now it falls for Tara Andrews. An important intervention from Thorsness. Out of the back post, it's hung up, and clearance is a decent one from Horsey. You can see Canberra's formation. They were listed to play 4 at the back, but you can see they're playing a back 3. Currently, that is the setup for them, with Thorsness along the back with Kaylee Kurtz and Nicola Orgel, which is really interesting because Thorsness has been a striker for most of her career, but she's been playing as a defender for Norway. Went to the World Cup as a defender. So, interesting move from Heather Garriock. She looks to be fairly fluid, the Norwegian, and she's barreled into Libby Copus-Brown. Strong, willing contact between those two. And you could just see Horsey and Olivia Price playing in that defensive midfield role, the screening role that we saw Laura Hughes playing alongside Price last week. Thorsness back to Kaylee Kurtz, and now Tara Andrews. Does she take it on from outside the box? She did. Collister. Collister trying to use her pace and is strong enough to win the ball from Thorsness. Flannery sees Jenna Kingsley, is clipped by former teammate Carly Rossbacken. And now the Jets with another free kick inside the defensive third. What can they produce here? Now, Elise Thorsness, she's very quick and tall as well, so the perfect attributes for a defender. And she's marking Tara Andrews, as you would expect. Libby Copus-Brown's ball was again headed clear by Lena Karmas. Now Gemma Simon toe poked it into the path of Charlie. Walt Simon has copped it. The Jets' doctor is up, and so is Craig Deans as well. This doesn't look good for Gemma Simon. It was strong contact, and now there's a free kick going away of Canberra. We'll see if we can have a look at that on replay, because I didn't quite see the whole contact because the ball went quickly, and I didn't see the late collision with Gemma Simon. Just saw Flannery and Rossback, and there it was. It was Just the boot out of Lena Karmas coming through and collecting her on the right boot. Here it was. Lena Karmas coming through, yeah, you could see collected Gemma Simon big time. Really, it should have been a free kick Newcastle there, you would think. Instead, it will be a Canberra United free kick. And are they saying Gemma Simon cannot continue here? This would be interesting because the Jets bench is pretty attacking. There's no defenders on that bench. Pana Petratos, Paige Kingston Hogg, and Lauren Allen. And Lauren Allen is being summoned. So what will be the tactical move here? Gemma Simon playing at left back. You can see Claire Wheeler is dropping into that position at the moment. Lauren Allen did play part of the pre-season as a fullback. She did play that trial against Sydney FC as a fullback. So if Gemma Simon wasn't right, maybe Craig Deans would just throw her straight into that role. Considering she was a striker, wasn't 100% sure. We'll wait and see because Gemma Simon is running back out there and looks to be fine to continue. Ross back and across goal, straight into the path of Cass Davis, who plays game number 75 this afternoon. 75th consecutive match. And I'm pretty confident that that is a record for a player at one club. Mariana Tabane played 75 consecutive at Perth Glory. So that equals the record. Claire Wheeler just given a bit of a tug by Ashley Crofts. Those two would have come up against each other in the NPLW in New South Wales. Wheeler with Sydney Uni, Crofts with Blacktown Spartans. Brewer. Striding forward, Hannah Brewer. What a run this is. She's just slipped right through the middle of them. The Newcastle centre half still going, and she finds Nikki Flannery. And she's offside. Well, what a superb run from Hannah Brewer in game number 100. She's only scored one goal in the W League. That was almost 2 years ago against Melbourne Victory. She absolutely loved that goal too. And she could have gone all the way maybe there. Instead, she opted to find Nikki Flannery, who was offside. Kaylee Kurtz, 9 appearances in the NWSL with the Courage. And the ball drilled across to the other side of the ground. Horsey after it. Thorson as well. It's a rare mistake from the Norwegian. 12 goals in 21 matches for Thorsness in the top Syrian. So that's the Norwegian top flight with LSK Kvinna, aside from Lillestrom. They were the champions. Now Simone Charlie. Does she use Price? She doesn't. She just hits it like a bullet. And it just fades wide of goal. Well, that's the kind of power she possesses. And that left boot. She is so dangerous. And if she can find her range, you'd think there's a bucket load of goals waiting for her in the W League this season, based on what we've seen. Not even 2.5 matches into the season. Speed, power on the strike. She's 24 years of age, the former triple jumper. Gemma Simon. Pass is picked up by Camilla. She almost picked out the top corner last week. Karmas has Ross back on her left. Opts instead for Thorsness. Now the ball neither here nor there from a Canberra perspective. So just over 27 minutes gone in round 3 of the Westfield W League. 6th place Newcastle Jets hosting 4th placed Canberra United. It's a double header this afternoon. W League and then A League. The Jets taking on Western Sydney Wanderers in the A League from 7:30 tonight. As Copus Brown comes into the back of Olivia Price and receives a yellow card as well. First card of the afternoon. Terrific free kick from Kurtz. Right on a dime for Rossbacken. Off the bar and prodded home by Ashley Crofts. On starting debut, she scores for Canberra United. Her very first W League goal and carries on a terrific season. She was outstanding down in Sydney with Blacktown, and now she's got a goal for Canberra in the W League. And she can thank Carly Rossbacken for that terrific strike on goal. She did the rest though. 1-0 Canberra. So the Jets are going to have to come from behind for the 3rd time this season. They've had issues with starts in matches this season. It's been a common trend for them. No goals, or just 1 goal in the first 15 minutes of matches in their last 14. So they've got a problem this season and in the recent past with starting matches quickly. 3 straight matches this season. They concede first. That was a dangerous ball in from Gemma Simon. Delivered in towards Tara Andrews. Now Collister just fluffed her lines at the back post. Here come Newcastle through Jenna Kingsley. Turning away from Rossbacken. Still with Kingsley. Well, she's done well to evade the challenge of Rossbacken and Camilla. And now Tara, well, it was Nikki Flannery who was at the near post. Just ghosting in, and the chest was too heavy. What a great opportunity against a former side to make it 1-1. So Rossbacken with the clearance straight into the path of Claire Wheeler, who was unfortunate to give away that penalty last week against Western Sydney. Here is Simone Charlie looking for goal number 3 this season, and there it is for the American. So impressive. What a start to the season for her. 3-3, and Canberra are 2 goals to the good in Newcastle. The Jets just had no answers, and they've really struggled to contain her speed down that right flank. Calm finish. Jets fans chanting for the VAR, but to be honest, the speed of Charlie is that quick. Here's Gemma Simon. Tara Andrews, all brought under her control. Here's Simon sliding it through. Flannery! Well, that really just had to go in for Newcastle. It just had to and didn't. And that was a gilt-edged opportunity not taken by Nikki Flannery. That's a couple in a few minutes now. That really will begin to hurt. Here's Kingsley under some pressure from Ross Backen. So all of a sudden the match has just come to life in the last 5 minutes or so. Now Tessa Tamplin, that was so crucial. Had to get a boot in there. Well, Simone Charlie was off again to the races for a chance at a second goal for the second time this season. Another double. Here she is, almost tracking that one down inside the byline. Tell you what, I can only say one thing for Simone Charlie, and that's a lot of goals this season. That's a good pickup for Heather Garriock. Here's Claire Wheeler now onto Tamplin. Picked out by Horsey. Hannah Brewer not going to plan for her thus far in game number 100. Davis now to Flannery, who just tried to curve it round the corner to Jenna Kingsley. Olivia Price just scanning for options. Davis's clearance up towards Kingsley, her teammate at Warners Bay. And the local WPL here in northern New South Wales. Well, Brewer missed the ball and got a whole heap of karmas. The ball cleared over the line though. Out of danger momentarily for Newcastle, who have now conceded 4 goals in 3 matches. Craig Deans' sides have been so defensively sound in the past, but this afternoon they have been a little leaky, the Jets. Thorsness looking up and just unleashing, but the less said about that strike, probably the better for the Norwegian. She's got more than that in her kit bag, and she'll be looking to produce a little bit better than that for Canberra this season. She's only just recently arrived in Australia from the Norwegian top flight, where she had a terrific season. Did actually score in the World Cup against Australia back in 2011. Australia won that match 2-1 though. Charlie. Here she is again, Thorsness. Inboard to Camilla. She can hit them from that kind of range. Opted against it. And now Orgel. Cross goal. Hannah Brewer made sure she kept her arms out of it. And now just diving in was Olivia Price, Ross Backen, Thorsness. Here is Price. And now picking the pocket of Cass Davis. Price cutting it across goal. Ashley Cross. Well, what a starting debut that would have been. And she's still got plenty of time to score her second. But that was another good opportunity. Maybe the ball just slightly in front, but she was slow to react. 21 years of age. Was the 3rd top scorer in the NPLW New South Wales with Blacktown. Wheeler under some pressure from Karmas. And now Brewer. Well, that pass easily picked off by Charlie, but Claire Wheeler, as always, such a hard worker, industrious in the Jets midfield. And now Tessa Tamplin pushing forward. Her strike on goal is a little deflected, and Sham Karmas, her first touch in a little while. Just over 8 minutes remaining in this first half at McDonald Jones Stadium. Canberra coming into this had won just one of their last 14 matches away from home. Heather Garriock's made some changes, some tweaks in that department, and it seems to be working at the moment. But Newcastle have a chance via Nikki Flannery, who was weaving her way into the box. Now Kingsley across goal. Orgel clearing it away. There is space in behind for Newcastle, but on that occasion, Flannery decided to take them on herself. There was some space out to the left. And Newcastle will be looking to take advantage of that as the match wears on. Trying to find holes in that back three that Canberra are playing. Andrews with a back to goal. Collister couldn't get there first, and Orgel's clearance away, only as far as Copus Brown. Brewer. Davis. Gemma Simon. Back to Cass Davis. And a Brewer looking forward, but beautifully brought down by Orgel. The clearance wasn't great. Tara Andrews saw Sham Karmas. Well, she probably wasn't even off her line in the end. Maybe wishful thinking from the Jet striker. We've seen what she can do before from distance. And the Jets tactically have made some tweaks from that initial formation. I know the formation given to everyone pre-match is very much ducks and drakes at times. It did have Jenna Kingsley playing in behind Tara Andrews, but it's Andrews playing in behind Flannery with Kingsley on the right side. And Canberra, well, they were playing with a back four based on that. May as well rip up that formation chart because very rarely is the case. And here is Horsey. And now Kaylee Kurtz. Well, she got a big piece of Nikki Flannery. And fortuitously for the American, it's just on the edge of the box. Flannery swerved around her. And Flannery saying, I was caught inside the box. We'll have a look. I tell you what, she was inside the box, way inside the box. And it is going to be a penalty. Now, can she change her decision based on, has she received word from Eleanor Hayes, who is the assistant? Because she definitely can't look at the big screen. Isabella Libri, I assume that is the case. This is her first W League match. But it was made evident on the big screen that it was way inside the box. Way, way, way inside. Tara Andrews steps forward against Sham Karmas. Remembering Tara Andrews scored 48 goals in the WPL here in northern New South Wales during the winter months. She's the Jets' all-time leading scorer. And she converts as expected. Tara Andrews has 30 goals in the Westfield W League and halves the deficit for the Newcastle Jets just before halftime. Well, she just doesn't miss from there. Tara Andrews, cool as a cucumber, into the bottom corner. And to be honest, the Jets had been coming for a period there, and you'd probably say deserved something from this first half. And this is going to be fascinating, this contest now, with Newcastle back within a goal. They need to keep going at Canberra, who are coming at the Jets as well. And now Jenna Kingsley to Nikki Flannery, who won that penalty and has probably been one of the Jets' best. She has put herself in positions to score, and as soon as I say that, she puts it over the sideline with a heavy touch. Just over 3 minutes remaining in this first half. Ashley Crofts opening the scoring for Canberra. And then Simone Charlie made it 2-0. Tara Andrews getting one back just a minute ago from the penalty spot for Newcastle. Kaylee Kurtz. And here is Simone Charlie. Well, it's just going to bound away from her. We did have a bit of rain pre-match. The match was delayed by about 20 minutes, if you were wondering. Was meant to kick off at 4:30. Kicked off at about 4:50 due to the thunderstorms delaying the warm-up. So Kingsley back towards Tamplin, picked off by Lena Karmas. And now driving forward, Ashley Crofts, full of confidence, but expertly done by Hannah Brewer. Now Wheeler to Andrews. Neat turn away from Horsey. Forward towards Collister, who just hasn't got herself in the game the last 2 weeks. Now Karmas. Forward towards Crofts. And that's a poor ball from Brewer to Camilla. Well blocked by Cass Davis. As you would expect from her, putting a body on the line as she does each and every week. And now Camilla away from Wheeler. She'll go again, the Brazilian. And that's how close it was to the 2-goal deficit for the Jets. The post getting in the way. And now Ross Backen. And now Tegan Collister rushing away from Horsey. Showing plenty of toe, but then the ball lets her down again. She's had a really, really frustrating first half, Collister. Scored that incredible goal in round 1. Thorsness. Now dinked forward. Claire Quaylo will collect, skidding off the surface. And now Wheeler dinking forward, so it's Ross back and against Kingsley. Will this be another penalty? Yes, it will be. Well, that's silly, silly stuff. Carly Rossbacken is saying there was no contact. We'll have a look at that. But right before half-time, running away from goal, did she have to put herself in that situation? Well, here we go. You be the judge. To be honest, it doesn't look like there's much in that. There does not look to be much in it. Kingsley went down in a screaming heap. And I'm going to say Carly Rossbacken, you're probably a bit unlucky there. So Tara Andrews, she's already scored 1 from the spot. Does she go the same way or does she change it up? Well, different way, different result. I should say same result for Newcastle. They were hoping for a different result, Canberra. It didn't happen. And it is 2-2 at McDonald Jones Stadium. Tara Andrews scoring her 31st goal in the W League. So right before half-time, Newcastle have overturned it. And Canberra back to square one. Here is Olivia Price. Now Flannery with the touch. Now Tara Andrews looking forward for the run of Jenna Kingsley. Ross Backen, who gave away that penalty. Price nudges the pass wide to Kaylee Kurtz. Now Orgel rolling it inboard. Horsey off almost the chest of Claire Wheeler. Now Collister looking up and charging at Kurtz. Has the run of Jenna Kingsley. What a turnaround this would be if the Jets found themselves ahead at the break. Canberra all of a sudden just struggling for answers. And based on what we've seen in this first half, they're probably a little unlucky to go in level. Sham Karmas dinking forward. Late header from Horsey. Now Gemma Simon on the bounce over towards the sideline. The Jets fans finding their voice. They were silent for a period there. Canberra leading by 2-0. But since they went ahead 2-0, that goal from Simone Charlie, it's been the Jets who were pushing. And now right before half-time, Canberra maybe with the last chance. Ashley Crofts. Seems an age ago now that she opened the scoring. Hannah Brewer searching for the run of Collister. And Isabella Libri says that will do us in the opening 45 minutes at McDonald Jones Stadium. And what a fight back from the Newcastle Jets, who were down 2-0 after Ashley Crofts and Simone Charlie put Canberra into a 2-goal lead. But the Jets, via Tara Andrews twice from the penalty spot, were able to level it up before half-time inside the last 5 minutes. And at half-time in Newcastle, it's Newcastle Jets 2, Canberra United 2. We'll be back in 10. Welcome back to McDonald Jones Stadium in Newcastle for the second half of this round 3 clash in the Westfield W League between the Newcastle Jets and Canberra United. And what a first half we witnessed. It was Canberra who shot out to a 2-goal lead. Ashley Crofts and Simone Charlie scoring. And then Tara Andrews pegging them back with a couple of penalties late on in the half. Plenty to go in this second half. Newcastle and Canberra both really needing victory here. I know it's only round 3, but you need to start strongly in the W League. And Canberra, if they want to make the finals and break a little finals drought, I want to get 6 points from their first 3. And the Jets, well, they can't afford to drop this one. So Tara Andrews, who got them back into the match at the back end of that first half, gets us underway in the second 45. Can they continue this comeback and put themselves in front? Or will Canberra respond? A side who have won just one of their last 14 matches away from home. They won't want that poor run to continue. Here's Simone Charlie again burning away from Tessa Tamplin. And now bearing down on goal. Cuts it across the face of goal. And Cass Davis with the scooped clearance. Tess Tamplin with a couple of arms in the back of Charlie and then takes the ball from her and speeds away. The pass misguided and over the line. You could say maybe the break came at the wrong time for the Jets with all the momentum. Orgel forward onto the turn of Thorsness. And now Olivia Price. What a run and what a ball to Camilla. Well blocked by Cass Davis. Let's see if we can have a look at that. Olivia Price, as she sped forward. Neat piece of skill to release the Brazilian. Here it was, outside of the boot to Camilla. Well blocked by Cass Davis as well. Expert defending from the Jets defender, playing in her 75th consecutive match. Here's the corner kick for Canberra to the back post. They're all rising, and then Jenna Kingsley's clearance may have gone via the referee. Well, it has hit the referee, so it's going to come back here for a drop ball. Isabella Libri in her first match of W League refereeing. Has been 4th official in the past, so it will be a drop ball. Interesting. Oh, Cass Davis has almost rolled her ankle on the ball. Brewer. Now to Tamplin. She's had a tough afternoon up against Charlie. Flannery. Now Tamplin. Nikki Flannery's had a chance to add to her 5 W League goals already in her career this afternoon. Tara Andrews has added to her career count and now releases, or attempts to release, Tegan Collister. Sham Karmas's clearance towards Copus Brown. Beat Karmas, Lena Karmas, and also Price. And now Jenna Kingsley. How's the delivery? Not a best effort. Will be a throw for Newcastle as the crowd builds at McDonald Jones Stadium before the A-League kicking off at 7:30 tonight. Gemma Simon swerves away from Price. And then Kingsley's ball cut out by Ross Backen. Gave away that penalty on the stroke of half-time. Simon to Andrews. And now Flannery. The back heel towards Gemma Simon. Brewer. Now Flannery. Her first touch wasn't bad, but just caught offside. Emma Cockbeck, the assistant referee on the far side, with her flag raised. Now Kurtz's pass finds Camilla. Horsey, in her starting debut as well, finds the other young lady in her starting debut. And Norwegian Thorsness just drove it, but straight at Quaylo. A metre either side, and the Jets keeper had a little bit of work to do. Collister turning away from Orgel. Now Tamplin being urged to drive forward down the left side of the ground. Has the run of Andrews, just dwelling on possession, but she is able to get herself out of it. Well, she was, but the pass was a poor one beyond Collister. Charlie to Camilla. Orgel. Thorsness now playing in a higher role in this second half than she was in the first. With the 2-goal advantage, probably not a bad ploy, dropping the tall, speedy Norwegian back there, but she's pushed much higher up the pitch in this second half, and we already saw it almost paid dividends. She's playing at the point. Ashley Crofts now over on the left. She was playing up front in that central striker role in the first half. Tara Andrews nodding it down. Kingsley on the turn. Almost got away from Ross Backen. Tara Andrews dinking it forward, looking for a hat-trick. Now Lena Karmas speeding forward, finds Ashley Crofts. Gemma Simon is keeping a close eye on her. She has the Norwegian in the centre. Camilla didn't get a good piece of that strike on goal, and Brewer's clearance went via Wheeler to Horsey. Camilla to Crofts. She has Thorsness inboard. Copus Brown's clearance was a little interesting. Wheeler swept it clear in the end. Now Ross Backen. She has Norwegian heritage. Her father playing in the second division there. Tamplin. Now Flannery, well, that pass is easily picked off by Camilla. Straight to her. Thorsness. Camilla. Simone Charlie. To Thorsness. 6 goals in 9 W League appearances in her career. This one dinked in towards Lena Karmas. Trying to crane her neck around that one. Couldn't quite do so. She's scored 41 goals in the W League in 107 appearances. Her third club in 3 seasons, though. Sydney and Western Sydney Wanderers in the last 2, and now Canberra for the 33-year-old. Davis. On to the head of Ross Backen. Copus Brown. Well, she's done well to get away from Horsey. She has the runner Tegan Collister at the back post, who is unmarked. Sham Karmas with the punch. And, well, they've done well, Canberra, to scramble that clear. Because she came and didn't get a great piece of the ball, the Canberra custodian. Copus Brown rolling it wide to Gemma Simon. Ross Backen getting across really well there. Terrific work from the Matilda Carly Ross Backen. She's got a bright future ahead of her, just 18 years of age. Now Wheeler skipped away from the would-be challenge of Lena Karmas. Now Collister saw Camilla arriving behind her, so she turns and finds Hannah Brewer. Now Camilla in behind Charlie. Swerves away from Collister, and then Wheeler, but Collister returned to take back possession for Newcastle. Big afternoon in Australian football. Plenty of A-League action, W League, and also Ange Postecoglou's Yokohama in action this afternoon. That match almost complete. May well be complete because they are very close to winning the J-League. That match is complete. And here is the Jets pushing forward. I'll come back to that after this raid from the Jets. It's with Tara Andrews. Now Wheeler. Collister under some pressure. A whole lot of pressure and probably, yep, that's a fair enough decision. Nicola Orgel basically pulled back there by Tegan Collister, and the throw will go the Jets' way. So Canberra going to make a change here as well, the first of the match. And it's going to be Lena Karmas, who is withdrawn in place of Emma Stanbury, who played for Newcastle in the 16-17 W League season. So Lena Karmas' afternoon is done. And Stanbury just slotting into that midfield role. Did score for the Jets in that first season. Her first match actually in the W League in November 2016. A big win against Melbourne Victory. Cass Tamplin back to Cass Davis. Yeah, Ange Postecoglou's Yokohama F. Marinos side. 3 points clear at the top of the J-League with one match remaining ahead of FC Tokyo. So the goal difference is 7. So you'd basically say they're assured of the title, depending on how they work out head-to-heads in the J-League, with the whether it's goal difference or does go on head-to-heads. But what an achievement. Emma Stanbury to Charlie. Now inboard to Camilla, the back heel to Charlie. Neat build-up from the internationals there. Stanbury tried to place the pass forward towards Thorsness. Picked up by Copus Brown, dispossessed again, but she's won the ball back. Libby Copus Brown wasn't at her best last week against the Wanderers. There's a snapshot from Ashley Crofts. Got some power behind it. So Charlie, Thorsness on the outside, taking on Hannah Brewer. Now Olivia Price drills it in towards the box. Came off the knee of Cass Davis. Anywhere will do for the Jets. Tara Andrews, couple of goals for her this afternoon. To Collister, who's on the outside of Orgel. What's basically a game of rugby league there around the outside. And the free kick, well, it could have gone either way, to be honest. And it's gone against Tegan Collister, much to the displeasure of the home fans. Orgel launches it long onto the head of Thorsness. The clearance from Davis, a good one, out towards Collister. Slowly just working her way into this match. Andrews sees the run of Jenna Kingsley and Libby Copus Brown. What about the engine she is showing? She tried to drop that ball inside to Flannery. The clearance is going to drop in front of Collister, looking for a teammate. And here is a free kick going the way of the Newcastle Jets winger. She didn't get it a couple of minutes ago. She gets it now. Olivia Price was just trying to recover possession and went about it in an illegal fashion. As you can see here, the leg right around the front of Tegan Collister. Basically just lopped her legs from under her. And down she went. And Tara Andrews and Nikki Flannery standing over it. Gemma Simon is also there. You wouldn't think she would take. It would suit the right-footed Tara Andrews. And you'd think it would be Andrews to take. So Gemma Simon. And it will be Andrews, but it's straight into the breadbasket for Sham Karmas. It was on target. Now the overlapping run of Stanbury showing some toe. She's been playing for Northwest Sydney Koalas during the NPLW in New South Wales. 5 goals for her during the most recent season. Stanbury selects the pass to Ashley Crofts, and now Ross Backen to Gemma Simon. So this match still right on a nice edge. After Canberra led 2-0 in the first half, Newcastle got it back to 2-2 right before halftime with a couple of goals from the penalty spot from Tara Andrews, who goes to ground there. Rebecca Horsey on starting debut to Olivia Price. Still going Price. And here's an opportunity for Canberra. And Thorsness again. She is causing all sorts of problems in the front third for the Jets. Now Andrews. Again looking for the run of Tegan Collister, but Karmas coming out and sweeping like all good keepers should. Flannery now to Kingsley. Looks up and dinks forward just over the head of Flannery. Now Stanbury against Wheeler. Those two did play together during that 16-17 campaign for the Jets. So Horsey alongside Olivia Price in that midfield. Price picked up at the start of last season by Canberra after she dislocated her knee for the 4th time. She was playing for Western Sydney Wanderers at the end of the 17-18 season. She was offered a trial by Canberra, no contract, and she impressed Heather Garriock so much that she offered her a contract, and now she's at Canberra for the consecutive seasons now. Kurtz to Camilla. Looks long and left for Crofts. Stanbury has no one approaching her, and Claire Wheeler arrived to smother the attempted cross. Crofts brought that down well. Now Camilla. Orgel. She's pushed forward, and here goes the Brazilian into the box. Was she given a nudge there by Tess Tamplin? She had her arms raised. She said nothing doing. Isabella Libri did blow 2 penalties in the first half, and they were a little worried there, the Jets, as Camilla went down. Canberra fans will probably be thinking there wasn't much contact, but there wasn't much contact in the penalty we conceded in that first half at the back end. Here's the ball across. Here is the header, and it is not far away. It was Thorsness flying through at the back post. So strong in the air. That's how close it was to being Canberra 3, Newcastle 2. Andrews. Bit of aerial ping pong for a moment. Davis curling it wide to Kingsley on the bounce over the line. As this crowd builds up at McDonald Jones Stadium before the Newcastle Western Sydney Wanderers clash in the A-League from 7:30. What a season Western Sydney are having in the W League. 3 from 3. Got that win against Brisbane Roar on Thursday night. Canberra playing Brisbane on Thursday in the nation's capital. The Jets travel to Perth, so tough road trip for Newcastle. Of course, no Sam Kerr for Perth this year. Makes it a little bit easier, you'd say. Simone Charlie Going one-on-one with Tamplin again. She beat her for pace, and Davis's header only as far as Camilla. Quailo put in the dive, but it was always going wide. Just under 26 remaining. Round 3 of the Westfield W League. Jets in 6th place on the table. Canberra in 4th. 1 win and a loss from their opening 2. The Jets with a draw and a defeat. Quailo's goal kick. Got some good distance on it. Now Tara Andrews in a duel here with Horsey. 1 out. Rolled the ball wide to Collister. Has Orgel tracking her. Gets it onto the right boot. Tegan Collister and Tara Andrews will be absolutely filthy. I should say Nikki Flannery. It was in there. Apologise to Tara Andrews. It was Nikki Flannery making that run. And she just couldn't cushion the header down. And here is Flannery, this time turning provider, sliding the ball through for Jenna Kingsley, who cuts it back, falls here for Collister. Does she go for goal? She doesn't. Opts to find Andrews. Copus Brown, just wide of goal. Things are happening for Newcastle all of a sudden. Now Wheeler with the header. Newcastle just winning all the second balls at the moment. Now Quailo to Brewer, swarmed by a couple of Canberra's internationals. Davis. Here's the turn from Kingsley. Saw the run of Gemma Simon around the outside. Well cut out by Canberra. So this is going to be a really open and entertaining finish. Stanbury. Thorsness should catch up with this, and does. She has Ashley Crofts in the middle. Scored the opener for Canberra, and here she is with a header, and everyone's lining up at the back post. It falls now for Crofts again, and it just dribbled to Cass Davis. And here's Rossbacken rushing forward. At her strike, it was a bit of an anticlimax in the end. Brewers attempted ball forward off the back of Crofts. Copus Brown turning. And Copus Brown knocking it up the ground and over the sideline. It's all go here in Newcastle. Canberra with the only change thus far, so they've got a couple up their sleeve, Canberra and Newcastle with 3. Copus Brown to Tara Andrews, had the run of Jenna Kingsley around the outside. Copus Brown attempts to use Jenna Kingsley, but that'll beat everyone. They've got Hayley Taylor-Young and Lauren Keir on the bench, Canberra. And if Hayley Taylor-Young gets out onto McDonald Jones this afternoon, it will be her W League debut. 17-year-old who's been scoring goals for fun in Canberra. Horsey dinks it in front of the speedster, Simone Charlie, who again is leading a merry dance. Orgel is pushed forward again here. Horsey uses Stanbury. Whips it across to the far side of the ground where Ashley Crofts is stationed. She has got plenty of power in that right boot, Ashley Crofts. Saw a strike in the first half which had so much power behind it from distance. Camilla. Orgel just overpowered by Hannah Brewer. Collister. They've got a 3-on-2 here, Newcastle, because Canberra have pushed forward. Emma Stanbury putting in the big effort to get back in defence, and they've done well, Canberra. It will be a corner. Heather Garriock wants her side to attack. She wants all 3 points. But it is affording space at the back for Newcastle, who want the victory just as much. Libby Copus-Brown. Here is the corner, the back post. There was Tara Andrews. Newcastle have got Pana Petratos, Lauren Allen and Paige Kingston Hogg on their bench. Inside the final 20 now in Newcastle. Round 3 of the Westfield W League. Canberra led 2-0 before half-time. The Jets made it 2-2 just before the break. Tara Andrews with 2 penalties after Simone Charlie and Ashley Crofts scored for the visitors. And Carly Rossbacken basically set up the opener for Ashley Crofts after a shot on goal hit the crossbar, bounced back for Crofts to finish. And then she turned villain, giving away the penalty, which made it 2-2, which was a little harsh. Didn't seem to be too much contact in that one. So that's how it stands at the moment. Copus-Brown and Gemma Simon over the ball. All those goals coming in a flurry before half-time. None since. Copus-Brown up and over the top. Kaylee Kurtz's header was decent. Nikki Flannery's created some chances in the final third. And here is one for the former Canberra United player. And she really should have done better. It was bouncing awkwardly. And she'll be so disappointed. She'll look up at the big screen. She did. And wonder what might have been there. But she's got to put her head down and expect another chance to fall her way. So Jenna Kingsley is leaving the ground, and Lauren Allen is out there. The former New Lambton Eagle, or the current New Lambton Eagle. Her home ground, probably about a 3-minute drive from McDonald Jones Stadium. Playing alongside Tara Andrews. And now Canberra with Camilla. This is where she's so dangerous, and maybe she could have taken the ball closer to goal. She just went for the strike and blazes it over. It comes to nothing and totally releases the pressure, which was just building there on Newcastle as they gave away possession. So both sides now down to 2 substitutions. Cass Davis almost turned herself into trouble there. Coelho was low and hard, the clearance. To her opposite, Sham Karmas. Both goalkeepers wearing the number 20 this afternoon. An interesting one is Tegan Collister. Up the line, started slowly, did Collister, but second half she's got herself right into the match. Tessa Tantlin with a throw. That's to no one in a blue shirt. Gave away possession pretty cheaply, but almost worked out well for the Jets. Wheeler now turned over to Camilla. And Claire Wheeler giving away the free kick. She's saying she won the ball. Isabella Libri said, no, you got the player as well. Really big period of the match coming up here. Every match so important in the W League with just 12 played by each side. 3 points just critical. Canberra had a lot of draws last season and it hurt them in the wash-up. 4 draws all told. 3 wins, 4 draws last season. Only the 5 defeats. You turn 2 of those draws into victories, and it becomes a totally different story for Canberra. And that's what they want to do right here and now. Lauren Allen, she's now showing some speed down the far side of McDonald Jones Stadium, going toe-to-toe with Ross Backen. She's won her side a throw. They might start matches slowly, the Jets, but they have finished strongly in recent weeks. Tara Andrews spinning and turning, and will it be a corner? No, it won't. It's out off the Jets striker. Karmas quickly taking the goal kick, and Tessa Tamplin just breaking it up for Canberra. I would have loved to just flow forward United there, but well done by the Newcastle left fullback. Now Claire Wheeler almost collecting Olivia Price. Stanbury along the tarmac. Crofts has got Thorsness in the centre. And it is Cross who shoots. Full of confidence, isn't she? Claire Quaylo was interested. Now we've just got inside 15 minutes to go. Canberra at home to Brisbane. You could hear the cries. Let's lift their tide. Both sides will be thinking that, and both sides will be looking to go to another level here. Well, this is where you find out who's done all the fitness work over the pre-season. You'd probably even say carried it through from the winter campaigns, because the pre-season is short in the W League. Charlie and Hannah Brewer. Game number 100 for her this afternoon. She did play at Canberra for a period, one season. Made her debut against United back in 2008. Just 15 years of age in a 2-1 win the Jets had at Magic Park. Here's Price. Ross Backen. Now Stanbury. Easily dealt with by Claire Quaylo. 3 W League clean sheets for her. Not one this afternoon, though. So here is a change for Canberra. Lauren Keir, the 23-year-old, in number 23. He's going to replace Olivia Price.
Number 8, Olivia Price.
Lauren Keir, who was a teammate of Jessie Raschart at Belconnen in the NPLW and ACT. They won the treble in that particular competition. Her third season in the Westfield W League. All her appearances, this is her fourth, have come off the bench. So what kind of impact can she have? She's slotted into the back line there. Does get forward at times, though. A couple of goals for her in the Canberra NPLW, or the ACT NPLW. Here's Simone Charlie darting forward, trying to get onto that left boot. Claire Wheeler just closed her off. She had to. Now roll wide to Ross Backen. Playing a little more centrally now. And Lauren Allen's clearance is a decent one over the line. Kaylee Kurtz is going to take the throw from right against the electronic signage. She powers the throw in towards Cross. Came off the head of Cass Davis. It was a good header. Newcastle, can they break quickly here? Because Canberra haven't got numbers back, but Nicola Orgel had to make that intervention. She just had to, or it could have been 3-on-1. Now Orgel looks up and just pushed to her right, Claire Quaylo. Now Claire Wheeler put under some serious pressure by Ashley Crofts. The breeze, as it does here at McDonald Jones Stadium, just swirling a little. Not easy for the goalkeepers. Nikki Flannery sees the runner Tegan Collister. Has numbers in the middle arriving a little late, does Collister. They are there now. Tara Andrews rushing towards the ball. Took a deflection. Will be a Jets throw with just over 10 minutes remaining in this one. And regulation time. Terrific fight back from the Jets. They were down 2-0 and Gemma Simon's shot was blocked. Appeals for handball. Nothing doing from Isabella Libri. Flannery, she's had some great chances against her former side. She's given away the ball now. Nikki Flannery, and now the ball forward. Here is Thorsness. She's got a love affair in the W League, and it will continue. Is that the winner for Canberra? 7 goals in 10 W League matches for the Norwegian striker. And that could be a massive goal in their season. Both sides were pushing for the winner, and it's Canberra who get it. Can they hang on now? That is the question. So Newcastle, they're going to have to go again. It was a similar tale in the first half. They fought back. Could they do it again? Surely not. Tara Andrews has already scored 2. She goes to ground. And now Gemma Simon. Well, it's all or nothing now for the Jets. Tara Andrews well blocked in there by Canberra. Are they about to end this barren run away from home, Canberra? Their last win away from home was against Newcastle. And that was in Heather Garriock's first season in charge, 17-18 it was. Lauren Allen, 1 win in their last 14 matches away, Canberra. And now Lauren Allen in a foot race with Ross Backen, who has just gone and gone all afternoon. Here's the throw. Flannery. She'll be ruining missed chances if the Jets are unable to win this one. Wheeler, her shot on goal was heavily deflected. That's what it comes down to, composure in the final third, and Canberra have just had more of that up to this point. Still some time remaining for Newcastle though. Clearance from Kurtz, rolled towards the Canberra bench. Collister, shoulder to shoulder with Charlie. Horsey brought it down well, but only as far as Tamplin. Good pressure from Rebecca Horsey. Hooked inboard by Brewer. Now Collister stabbing it forward into the path of Tara Andrews. Kurtz and Cham Karmas maybe just got their wires crossed a little there. All's well that ends well for Canberra. Just over 7 minutes for the Jets. Now Simone Charlie, a second for her this afternoon. Would sail the 3 points for Canberra. And she's done the next best thing, and that's win a free kick inside the attacking third. So Craig Deans is going to go to his bench, as has Heather Garriock. So it's going to be a W League debut for Hayley Taylor-Young, who is making her way onto, or about to make her way onto McDonald Jones Stadium, replacing Ashley Crofts, who scored her first W League goal in the first half in just her third appearance. Third top scorer in the NPLW in New South Wales, and now a goal scorer in the W League. Congratulations to Ashley Crofts. And now a debut for Hayley Taylor-Young, who was the Golden Boot in the NPL ACT with the Canberra United Academy side, coached by Heather Garriock. 30 goals in 17 matches for that side. And Garriock says she's similar to Ash Sykes and Hayley Rasso. Can she deliver here? Well, this would seal it. Stanbury almost against a former club, and then it was Taylor Young at the back post. Almost with her first touch in W League football. You could say this is her first touch now, and it's a decent one too. Thorsness, and now Camilla having to put the nail in the Jets' coffin. Canberra, Quaylo looks up, thumps it long, and now Orgel under some pressure from Copus Brown. Was it illegal pressure? Yes. Has to be a little careful, the Jets midfielder, who's gone into the book already. She doesn't look pleased with the decision. So here is the Jets change, second of the afternoon. Tegan Collister off, and Paige Kingston-Hogg comes on to McDonald Jones Stadium. Makes her third appearance in the Westfield W League, turning 19 on Monday. Thorsness, whose goal looks to be decisive in this one. Inside the final 10 minutes, her strike made it 3-2 to Canberra after it was deadlocked for the whole second half. 2-2 at the break, and now Kingston-Hogg doesn't have her greatest moment with her first touch. Kingston-Hogg scored 4 goals in the NPLW in New South Wales. Could she make something happen here? Canberra in possession at the moment. Kurtz. And here is the strike. Some serious power behind that. That is Hayley Taylor Young, 17-year-old, just lashing it towards goal. Exciting future ahead for her. Also Ashley Crofts as well. Great to see the young talent coming through out of the nation's capital. Lauren Keir now with a touch. It was part of the defensive unit for Lions and the NPLW in Queensland, who won the championship premiership double. Emma Stanbury almost scored moments ago to seal the deal against her former W League club. Here she is at the top of the D. Sees Camilla. Almost fell over the ball. Charlie nudges it wide. Stanbury got a good piece of that. And Quaylo immediately thumps it up the ground. Less than 3 minutes of regulation time remaining. And since they've gone behind, Newcastle really haven't had a chance. And that won't come now. Copus Brown, she does really have to be careful. That's another foul. And on a yellow card, repeated fouls, she doesn't want to give away another one. So Nikki Flannery leaves the park. Pana Petratos replacing her. She'll be absolutely gutted. Had some great chances against Canberra, who she played for the last 4 seasons. She'll be wondering if she had have sunk one of those, whether it would have been a different tale this afternoon. Wheeler shielding the ball expertly. And now Tara Andrews, that was brilliant control. Up to her New Lambton teammate Lauren Allen. Comes to naught for the Jets. Canberra have closed this match out to this point professionally. Very professionally. Coached by the only female coach remaining in the W League, with Mel Andretta leaving Brisbane Roar at the end of last season. And there definitely needs to be more female coaches in the W League, and Heather Garriock is leading the charge along with Mel Andretta, of course. Did a terrific job with Brisbane Roar. Here's the run from Charlie, who's offside. Flag is up from Eleanor Hayes. So a win for Canberra would take them equal on points at the top of the Westfield W League ladder. They wouldn't go top, but near enough is good enough at this point of the season. Plenty of water still to pass under the bridge. Can Newcastle find something? Gemma Simon ran into a dead end. Here's Taylor Young. Had her pocket picked by Claire Wheeler, who's going to win the Jets a throw. So, yeah, win for Canberra this afternoon. If it stays the same, they'll slot into third place on the table. They'll jump up above Melbourne City, who they lost to last week. Here's Lauren Keir. The header wasn't a great one. Canberra have dealt with it well enough to get it away from danger. Western Sydney Wanderers obviously still at the top, 3 from 3. Sydney have only played twice. They have a chance to go to 9 points as well. They play Perth in Perth tomorrow. Canberra on 6 points in third. The Jets will stay in 6th on just 1 point. And they will head to Perth next week. Tessa Tamplin. Now Petratos. Keir. Now picked off by Gemma Simon. Up and over the top for Lauren Allen, who's trying to get goal side of Keir. Shielded the ball well, and Sham Karmas just dives on it. Karmas up and forward. Taylor Young with the header deflected to Thorsness, whose goal is the difference at this point. Was the third top scorer in the top Syrian, the Norwegian top flight with Kvinna. And now has her 7th W League goal in just 10 matches with Canberra. She really enjoys playing in Australia. And against Australia as well. Scored against the Matildas in 2011 at the World Cup. So Hannah Brewer, maybe not going to be the 100th she hoped for. Lauren Allen got her head to it. Will just trickle to Sham Karmas. Davis prodding it forward. Onto the head of Keir. And just caught offside was Paige Kingston Hogg on the far side of the ground. So they're not far away now, Canberra, from just their 2nd win in their last 15 away matches in the W League. Heather Garriock said she's changed some things up this season, and it's worked in Newcastle this afternoon, to this point at least. And the 2-year wait for Canberra for that elusive win against the Jets is over, and they will climb to equal first on the ladder with that vital 3 points. And what a start they had in the first half. Simone Charlie and Ashley Croft scoring to make it 2-0. And then the Jets fought back right on half-time. Tara Andrews with a couple of penalties. But then it was the Norwegian Elise Thorsness who scored a bucket load for Canberra in the past. 6 in 9 2 seasons ago. And this year she added her 7th in 10 W League matches to earn all 3 points for her side. The Jets, they're winless in 3. They head to Perth next week. That is a tough trip. And Canberra return home to play against the Raw. Full time in Newcastle. It finishes Newcastle Jets 2, Canberra United 3. Thanks for your company this afternoon. The Westfield W League will continue tomorrow from 4 p.m. You can catch that one on TV. Also a big clash tonight in Melbourne, with Melbourne City in action a little bit later on. They'll be taking on Adelaide United. So enjoy the rest of the W League, also the A League. We'll catch you next time.